Welcome to the 33rd episode of the ML Backstage podcast. My name is Mars Luna.
And I'm Ethan.
Looks like New Orbit is finally out. We got Joshua Luna running this thing solo this time. Holokahiki Toves is busy at work, and Kainalu Kamai is out there being a hero restoring Maui. Joshua covers the New Orbit release, and he talks about how 2023 went for him. Ethan, how was 2023 for you?
Still single.
Same for me, but it doesn't matter. Back to planet Earth we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 33 of the ML Backstage podcast. I'm Joshua Luna, and it's just me today. I normally have my co-hosts Holokahiki Toves and Kainalu Kamai here with me, but it's the holiday season out here. You know what I'm saying? Life's busy, and I actually would have done this earlier in the month because today is December 23rd, 2023. I would have done this a lot earlier in the month if I had my voice. So for context, from the last episode, which happened in the middle of November, when Holo was here visiting Vegas, I lost my voice the day after that happened. And I had laryngitis for about a good 3 weeks, which is the normal healing process for it if everything goes according to plan. And it wasn't fun. Just going through, coughing up a crap ton of phlegm and just not being able to talk and not being able to communicate or sing or anything like that was miserable. It was horrible. But I'm better now. The vibes were an absolute dog water for those 3 weeks. But tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And it's actually Holo's birthday tomorrow, which is probably why he's ducking this episode today. And he's probably happy he's not on, because if he were here, we would probably be singing happy birthday to him, like Holokahiki style. And if you've listened to their music, you know what I'm talking about. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, no, I'm just playing. I love Holokahiki. But anyway, back on track. Welcome to this episode of ML Backstage. The ML Backstage podcast is basically a time capsule of all of the musical projects that I've made under the alias of Mars Luna, the cosmic prince, the cosmic Casanova, space alien singer from the sixth dimension. And speaking of new projects, new Mars Luna projects, after 3 months of leading up to it, New Orbit, the third Mars Luna album, is finally out. It was released about 2 weeks ago, and the responses I got from that album were about what I expected, and it was actually the responses that I wanted. I got responses kind of that are like, it was very mushy, but it's very good, and I've had people tell me what their favorites were and all that kind of stuff. And it was actually the quickest amount of time that it took to finish an album. Because my producer, Morgan Wright, who's been on this podcast a few times, we were so in sync together during this process that it wasn't even really a process. It was just a whole lot of fun, really. And it was just about finding time to get through the album and just reach the finish line. But we made it. You know what I mean? We made it before the end of the year, and that was kind of what I wanted. And New Orbit kind of sets a template for what 2024 would look like. And I feel like New Orbit was a silver lining amongst a very miserable holiday season because of the aforementioned laryngitis. And I learned a lot during that season. Not season, but I mean, like, I learned a lot during those couple weeks where I didn't have a voice, and I was just kind of processing through and thinking through a lot of things. And you know I'm just glad that New Orbit was that silver lining, and it kind of set, like I said, a good template for what the next year would look like, for myself and for Mars Luna. And there were some forgotten facts, that I forgot to mention in the last episode that I remembered after the episode just dropped. And so the original title for track number 5, The Hero, is called Give Us a Try. The original title for Aura, which is track number 9, was called Stardust. And Do for Love, which is a song that people really liked. And I heard some comments saying that they wished Do for Love was longer. It's the most compact 50-second song I've ever made. The original title for Do for Love was called What Are You Gonna Do? And then it kind of got shortened to Do for Love, which was kind of a better title for it anyway. And like I said, we were supposed to cover Holo's Vegas trip, and which we kind of covered for the most part in the last episode. Check that out on YouTube and Spotify and wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. And Kainalu Kamai, our other co-host, he's in Maui right now. He's on a military order, helping to restore Lahaina to, I don't know if I should say it's former glory, but restore Lahaina to become habitable again, and just kind of restoring things. And he's doing good work over there, and he should be over there. Well, he told us that he will be over there until I would say end of January. He told us the end of January. So it'll be hard pressed to lock him in on this pod for at least another month or so. But yeah, the boys will be on here, but life's busy, like I said. And this day was actually the only day that I was able to really lock this pod in, because of Christmas Eve tomorrow, and I'll be playing keys at the church service tomorrow. And it should be fun celebrating the birth of Jesus and all that stuff. It's actually kind of funny that we're celebrating the birth of Jesus tomorrow, and the orders were for the band to wear all black. So I just thought it was funny. It's funeral vibes, birth of Jesus, contradictory, and I guess the stances on the holiday season for me, it's never been great. Like I've never really had like firm traditions on anything, because my family life growing up wasn't necessarily the greatest, and I never had like the best relationships with my family, and not because I hate them or anything like that. We're just different people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of all it is. And just I can't wait for it to be over. I can't wait for the holiday season to end. And it's just not for me. It's not really my thing. But it's all love to those who love Christmas and all those who celebrate it. I just want to also extend I'll just extend my love to those who are suffering or grieving through this holiday season. I know it's not the best for a lot of people, and I'm with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm with y'all in that. And I just pray that y'all get through it. You know what I'm saying? And just may God give y'all the strength to keep going and make the most out of the year. or the season. And I want to ask y'all, to whoever's listening. So on every podcast episode, we usually tie, I usually have questions that kind of tie it into what's the word I'm looking for? That kind of leads into the I'm blanking out so hard right now. That kind of lead into the the songs or projects theme, or what I'm saying, like questions, like philosophical, general, fun questions that relate to the project or song's theme. There we go. That's what I meant to say. But since this is a more general episode today, and this is the end of the year, I want to ask you guys, what are your highlights and lowlights, if there are any, for 2023? So I'll say this year, 2023, for me was a year of a lot of transition, a lot of change, and I've seen a lot of things happen over the last like 3 years or so, and it's brought a lot of perspective and a lot of insight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a lot of my loved ones get married. I've been in a few weddings this year, and it's a joy-filled celebration, right? But it also made me realize that, things are like relationships that I had with these people when they were single have changed, right? Because this is cosmic Casanova season, and I've been single, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely takes an adjustment period to you know get used to, but I think those were some highlights. And releasing New Orbit was obviously a highlight of mine. And like I said, it was a silver lining in a very miserable period. Um, and releasing New Orbit was, I've never felt more peace than I have after I released New Orbit. And shout out to a friend of the pod, Scott Yago, who we've had on this podcast in the past. He FaceTimed me after that project was put out, and he basically said that he saw a lot of emotional intelligence, and he saw the growth uh from where I was, from Dark Matter, where, and leading up to Sirius, um and now New Orbit, just kind of seeing the maturity and the growth there. And that was intentional. And I think that was probably my favorite comment that I've received out of the whole thing, because it's been intentional. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things about New Orbit was um it was like figuring out, like, what does a new orbit look like for me, right? Because I didn't want to release a project called New Orbit and still being miserable from where I was at Dark Matter. You know what I mean? And I wanted to change for myself. I didn't want to stay in a dark place. I know that dark times come, and that's kind of, those are the waves of depression and anxiety, and all the things that come with it. But it's life is about, like, how you respond to things, right? And sometimes you respond to things differently, better than others. But just being a human and just understanding the process and understanding how it goes, and you can control what you can control, and that's about the best that you can really do. You know what I'm saying? Um, Another highlight that I had was, just, reaching, just getting through this year, honestly, and just just figuring out like how to mm, how to utilize my gifts and talents in a different way that I wasn't really, that I wasn't used to doing in the past. That was probably a highlight, and you know, uh, just getting through that. And I would probably say, hmm, the low light for me were these past couple weeks. Um, I I realized a lot about myself. I realized what um we're talking about dark places just a minute ago, and I would say that I learned a lot about, you know, the people in my life, right? And I realized like who's going to be rocking with you, or who's going to be there for you when ish hits the fan, you know what I'm saying? And um it was it was a very crystallizing um period filled with a lot of clarity and a lot of realization and a lot of perspective, and it got me thinking, you know what I mean? Like, it got me thinking about the type of people that I want in my life, and also realizing that, you know, yeah, you can blame people for not responding in the way that you hoped, but it's also an onus on me being a better friend in general, you know what I mean? And like, it's hard to sustain friendships as you get older and you become an adult, right? But um I realize now for myself that I want the friendships that I have to really be intentional. And I also want to be more intentional in maintaining friendships as well as making new ones. And because I've been a loner most of my life, and I've never really had a lot of friends, and I've had, what I'm saying, like I've always had a small circle of friends, but the small circle of friends, like Holo, like Nalu, like Scott, have been my friends for, you know, a decade plus. And, people, can talk down about high school friendships, but we've grown together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen each other grow throughout the decades, and I want to have those kinds of relationships with, with new people that I meet, or the other people that I have in my life now. You know what I'm saying? And so if I were to sum up my lowlights in a sentence, it's that is that, you know, uh, you figure out who's in your corner when it's just a fan, and you realize, you realize, you know, you don't have to prove your loyalty to anyone, or if you um feel like taken advantage of or you're taken for granted, then those relationships aren't meant for you, and you deserve better, and mm, you're worth more than that, and you should want the best for yourself, and that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? And uh but even though like the unfortunate thing with the laryngitis and the repercussions of that happened to me, I'm grateful that I went through it, and I'm grateful for, like, the people that did care, you know what I'm saying? And the people that um the people that was with me through all that, you know what I'm saying? And uh that hurt. It hurt for sure, but I know that eventually all going to work out for the best. You know what I'm saying? And the second question that I have is, what are you hoping for in 2024? And honestly, like in 2024, it, it's in 2024. Let me reset that. In 2024, I just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And it's not when I say have fun, of course, being an adult comes with a lot of responsibilities, um and you got to take care of what you got to take care of, but having fun is more so a mindset, and and just, and like I said, control the things that I can control. So what I am hoping for you know is having fun, but also, you know better opportunities. You know what I'm saying? It's a new year coming up, and that means that new opportunities will come. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to recognize them and have clarity, wisdom, and discernment when you see them. And and I guess for Mars Luna's sake, I'm hoping that Mars Luna has more opportunities to perform. Um, because I know that, as much as Mars Luna and I are, we're kind of we kind of have this like contrasting, like, symbiote venom type relationship going on. um I know that he can show out, you know what I'm saying? And um I'm hoping for more opportunities for him to show that, and more opportunities for myself and Morgan to play more, and I might actually have something lined up for Mars Luna next year, but in January. But we'll just have to see if that actually comes to pass or not. And I'll actually find out about that next week, whether it's a go or not. And I'll keep you guys posted on that when the time comes. But yeah, I would say in 2024, we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna have fun, and we're just gonna vibe out, and and just continue to grind and thug it out. And I'm excited for the new year. You know what I mean? I'm excited for what's to come. I'm going in there with very minimal expectations, and because Mars Luna is out of album season, and well, actually, we're still technically in it with New Orbit, but like, there's no album that's being worked on for next year. So um we're just gonna have to see what happens. um for next year, expect on Mars Luna's front for next year, expect a lot of fun music, a lot of emptying the clip. You know what I mean? Like emptying out the vault, and just and more performances. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just fun times ahead, and looking forward to it for sure. So I believe that wraps up this episode, y'all. Thank you so much for watching or listening. This episode was a little scattered and a little all over the place. That was a little more general, especially since I was, it's just me in this episode. But you know what I mean? It's appreciate y'all tuning in. And there will be more episodes next year. And for those who are new, we normally do episodes every month, like once a month. And yeah, I still got more content for you guys, more music for you guys, more episodes for you guys, and just gonna have fun with it. You know what I mean? And like I said, New Orbit is out now. Thank you to everyone who's been listening, and for all the messages and stuff that Mars Boy and I have received. It's really meant a lot, and it's been cool to kind of see that the way people thought about New Orbit was exactly what I intended for it to be. And yeah, man, like it's gonna be dope. More music to come, and yeah, so you can find all of my social media. I am just on Instagram at Luna B Joshua. You can follow Mars Luna at It's Mars Luna on, well, let me rephrase that. You can follow Mars Luna on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads at It's Mars Luna. You can also follow Mars Luna on YouTube, and the website at itsmarsluna.com. You can subscribe to the newsletter on there, and you'll get monthly updates from the Sixth Dimension Advertiser. And I'm trying to think to see what else needs to be covered. And yeah, I think that's it, y'all. So hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. Hope you all have a wonderful New Year. Happy birthday to Holokahiki, who is basically preparing for his birthday coming up tomorrow. And shout out to Kainalu, who's out there in Maui right now. And also shout out to you know what I'm saying, shout out to everyone who worked on New Orbit. Shout out to Morgan Wright for making this process smooth, and just making it fun. You know what I mean? And this was a fun album. This was a fun project. And also Thomas Brooks again for setting the template for Greenlight, and Scayago and Kainalu for Take It Slow, you know what I'm saying, and These Damn Feelings. And I'm just grateful that I got to work with the homies, you know what I mean? And that was, it's all about the journey. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that I'm about to pick up my mother from the airport in like a few hours. She's flying in for Christmas, and I'm grateful for that. And if you are spending the holidays without a loved one, just I'm sorry, you know what I mean? And And to though I hope things get better for you during this and I hope that the holiday season is a better one for you in the future, and you'll get through it. And to those who are spending your Christmas with your loved ones and your family, tell them that you love them, man. Like, don't take nothing for granted, because tomorrow ain't ever promised. And you know what I'm saying, just tell them that you love them. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, but I don't know if I really said that earlier because of my ADHD and all that kind of stuff. So take care, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and stay tuned for the next episode next month, where we're going to talk about Mars Luna's new era a little more in depth. So take care, guys. As always, embrace your odyssey and embrace the strange. Bye for real, guys. Shoots.
We've talked about New Orbit for 3 months, and it's finally out, Ethan.
I know.
2023 is about to be over, and it's Holokahiki's birthday today.
I know.
Ooh, wise guy, I see. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. If you liked what you heard, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to us on Apple and YouTube at ML Backstage. You can follow me on Instagram, Threads, X, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all my music on Spotify and Apple Music, and on my website at itsmarsluna.com. Stream New Orbit on all streaming platforms. Thank you all for listening, watching, and hanging out with us. Hope you're all enjoying this episode. Hope you're having a jolly cosmic Christmas, intergalactic Grinchmas, and stay tuned for the next one as we cover what's next for 2024. Bye!